Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this awesome new day and this awesome new round of the DSEA League of Legends Spring Competition. This will be the fourth and second to last round, so every single match, as you might have heard in the LEC, actually counts, and every single match is very important. Today we're
It's a
going to be
very
looking...
tense group.
It's a very tense group, yes. Today we're going to be looking at the match between DSEA Orange and Blue Shell Primus. And from Blue Shell, actually, to cast with me today, here is Bear. Awesome that you're willing to join me, Bear. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. It's a wonderful Saturday evening. Perfect day to be inside playing some League of Legends. I'm excited for this. How are you feeling, Peppy?
I am doing pretty darn good. I'm also very excited to see if we are going to get some hype League of Legends. The teams are still joining the lobby, so we should be getting into Champ Select in a hot minute. But that's fine, because that gives us a little bit of time to talk about as you already mentioned, the tenseness in the group. Let's actually show us on stream the second group as well. As you can see here, the group is currently being led by Erasmus Taxi Drivers and Zephyr Hydra. They're both on 2 wins and two wins. Zephyr Hydra already has lost 1 game. DSA Orange and BS Primus share a 3rd place, both on 101, and TSTA Link is on 003. But because of how the head-to-head works out, basically only one result of today's combined matches will result in anything definite. So it's very important for both DSEA Orange and BS Primus to win today, because if they lose, they are not technically, but practically out of the top 2. So yeah, definitely high stakes, because of course only the top 2 will progress to the next stage. So yeah, every second matters.
Every win, every CS. This is quite the tight cutoff for these teams.
Yeah, exactly. So they need to make it, otherwise they have a little bit of trouble. Now, actually, if we can quickly look at the other group as well, because of course there's 2 groups. Let me just bring that up right there. We see that's currently being led by DSEA Red, followed by Dongen City Gaming, then Zephyr Primera, then DSEA Purple and Gurple, and then DSEA Green. If you want to follow the match between Dongen City Gaming and Zephyr Primera, head over to either of 2 Twitch channels, because yes, that match will be casted twice by both teams individually. Dongen City Gaming and Zephyr Primera both on their own Twitch channel. So it's, I think, twitch.tv/Dongen City Gaming and twitch.tv/Zephyr of ESEF Zephyr. So be sure to head over to there as well, show some love, and see how that match goes. In the meanwhile, the teams have both joined the lobby. I am not sure if they're going to do whatever with draft, if they're going to do it to clients, so we're going to have to wait for them to decide that. But for now, you have looked at the teams and the champion pools a little bit just now. Is there anything that stands out to you there?
So taking a quick look, it's as I mentioned this, we were talking before. It seems that Orange Goesting does not have a dedicated ADC main. They only have really a mid main that happens to play ADC. So I am interested in how that lane will play out, given that on BS Primus' side, we do have a Xeno said is a ADC main playing quite a powerful roster. Misfortune, Jin, Senna, Ezreal, compared to only Samira and Ezreal on the side of Orange Goesting. So we will have to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
Will it be a stomp, or will they be able to hold their ground?
Yeah, definitely. The AD carry gap is going to be something that we have to keep an eye on. And also, of course, no noob to the AD carry role, but also definitely not as experienced as her counterpart.
Indeed.
However, in the same lane, you also have Mordax. Mordax is a renowned support player within DCA. Currently, indeed, made it to Master, so definitely no slouch there. So maybe, even if Anilsa is a little bit worse for wear compared to her opponents, Mordax can keep up with it and try and carry that lane anyway. So we're going to have to see how that turns out. Yeah, for the rest, we haven't seen pro play in a while, right? Most matches actually ended last week, or most of the leagues ended like last week or the week before. Teams are now preparing for MSI. So, meta is a little bit up in the air. 10.9 hit very recently. That means that now Gwen is available again, as well as The Ramus update is available, so
That's true.
see if teams actually start playing that at all. For now, all I can say is that the champ select, in fact, has started.
So let's make our way over to that.
Yes, so let's actually make our way over there. That's a very good thing to say. Let's look at the first bans, because they have been coming through.
Yeah, so that's the first ban with Misfortune and Kha'Zix on the side of Roger Hosting and a Lulu ban on the side of BS Primus. Actually, this is expected given those are big mains on both teams.
Okay, interesting. The target
So
ban's also coming out towards what seems to be the support role from the side of Blue Shell.
looks like they're trying to shut down Mordax on trying to limit his power, playing something he's not comfortable with.
Yeah, Mordax is traditionally a little bit of an enchanter support player. Really likes the Yumi one that was really strong. Lulu is probably right up his wheelhouse. Zillion he plays a lot as well. Yeah, that's one of his favorite champions to play. So actually, we have seen a lot of Zillion bans coming through in previous matches that he played. So I'm wondering if, given the 2 support bans so far, if they might commit to that, or maybe they have a counter pick ready. For now, the Seraphine, very much Mordax style as well.
Good choice. Yep.
Yeah, so Mordax getting hard targeted, so let's see if that actually matters or if he just picks up something he likes anyway. As the first picks are going to be coming through.
So let's see. First pick Gnar up in the top lane. Okay.
That is, Gnar has been for the longest time, the last last couple of weeks of the LEC and the kind of stuff, a very contested pick. About half the people in there were like very hyped up about Gnar, wins most of the matches, can be very strong. Other half of the people is like, yeah, but the guy is too hard to play around. It's too easy to shut down, and just like if you get ahead, sure, but the question is, can you get ahead? So it really depends on execution, and of course the best of the best have great execution and can try it and hope and dream to make it work. Let's see if Mr. King Mark Noane can do the same.
Exactly, at least King Mark, and it looks like possibly against a Volibear top that looks to be in line with what the Press by Solo Q will play. He plays Darius, Warwick, Cho'Gath, right in line with what he likes to play. So seems like a comfort pick for him.
Yeah, and then they also have the Senna picked up and now countered by the Twitch.
Now we'll have to see if that's a Twitch jungle or not, because because the jungler on Orange Hosting has also played a little bit of cheeky breaky Twitch jungle. I'm not sure if that still remains in the meta for now.
Well, we just see the Zac being picked up, so I don't think that's going to be a Twitch jungle, but yeah, fair point. Twitch also currently, like, a lot of split opinions about going AD or AP, so I think that's great of Twitch, honestly. He can kind of fill whatever the team needs, so if they want to go for more of an AD mid lane, Killkeep actually known to play some AD mids, Twitch AP bot lane can definitely compensate for the lack of magic damage from the mid lane.
Indeed. And wow, that is 4 enchanters right there, just gone, man.
Yeah, we see a lot of bans targeted towards Morag, just continues to go his way.
It looks like they really want to capitalize on this ADC gap down bot lane, not giving him a chance.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if the last ban is going to be something of the likes of the Zillion anyway. Something that I do think is that the Volibear is going to be jungle, but Zillion's right there. The Volibear is going to be jungle, I suppose. It could be a top lane Volibears at like bot. Actually, no, it could be a bot lane Cho'Gath. Support Cho'Gath.
Support Cho'Gath. Is that something? I'm not sure if what is it? Not Glacial Augment. What's the item that roots in the center?
Everfrost.
Everfrost. Yeah, I'm not sure if Everfrost is still something to go along with it. I remember that being incredibly strong in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think Cho'Gath with Everfrost on support is something that we have been seeing a little bit of, specifically, of course, paired with the Senna. The idea is that Cho'Gath just kind of gets a farm. By farming it with his passive, he already sustains a bunch of the damage that he's going to be getting. Yeah. Senna also helping out with the sustain, and we see the Rise being picked up here, by the way, from...
nice Rise mid lane, okay. Looks like, yeah, it'll be nice to give him some consistent damage, some wave clear. a nice scaling pick for the team.
Yeah, of course, already with the Senna, who is going to be scaling very nicely now with the Rise as well, and the Cho'Gath and the Volibear. This is looking like a very heavy team fight late game composition.
Exactly. A standard tank front line, lots of DPS at the back type type game.
And this is an Ari pickup that slightly confuses me, because Killcapture is not typically a Ari player. Anilsa, however, is. So this could be a swap that Anilsa goes mid lane with Ari and Killcapture actually, who does also play a little bit of AD carry, goes to the bot lane and takes the Twitch, which I suppose will be building AD by the way in this composition, because you already have a lot of magic damage, to the bot lane.
Indeed, indeed. Um, it'll be interesting how that works out. Is Kukupia a, he doesn't seem to have really any ADC experience in his match history.
No, maybe not lately, but I know that at the end of the previous season he did pick up the AD carry role a little bit when he was a bit fed up with the mid lane. So I think he did play some bot lane, but yeah, definitely not his preferred role. Now, something that I see is a potential for a Zac mid lane. Or like something, because I'm not sure. The players and the champions in my mind just don't match up. Kadank on the Gnar, sure. Top lane is one of his favorite champions. Killcapture in the jungle, Anilsa mid, Mr. King Mark no 1 AD carry? Is that possible? Something certainly looks like it for now.
Looks like they're just trying to throw whatever at the wall and see if it sticks.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Wow, this looks like it's gonna be a somewhat mid game type comp compared to the late game of BS Primus here.
Mm-hmm.
With the Karma, with the Adi and the Zac. Um, the Gnar will give him some really nice engage combined with that Zac, able to get maybe the Zac jump on a carry or something. Gnar comes in, tosses them against the wall, and Twitch just comes in and cleans up type deal. But we'll have to see if the combo works out.
Yeah, and what I'm worrying about is that Gnar and Zac dive in there, and then PS Primus just says, okay, and now what? Kills them, and then by the time that Anilsa and Mr. King Mark No 1 have arrived, either the tanks are dead or like they cannot really enter because there's just it's going to be hard to find proper engages even though they have so much tools for it. I think for DSEA.
Indeed, given that Volibear with his ultimate, even if Zac and Gnar jump on top of him, he can still jump out of there and be in between the carries and his team, providing some very nice peel, letting them tear down the tanks and then split the team apart.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah.
They have a lot of tools to get in and out. So I'd be interesting to see how they handle it. Perhaps Orange Hosting will focus on taking individual picks, maybe finding those picks on the side lanes, something like that, trying not to team fight because it looks like they are at an immediate disadvantage compared to BS Primus.
Yeah. Yeah, it's looking a little bit skewed, certainly in favor of BS Primus if we look at the team composition as a whole. What we do see is that Vistupi will be taking the Senna and Xenozet will be taking the Cho'Gath. So it's going to be indeed, as we said already, in the bot lane, the Cho'Gath and Senna.
So that's going to be, with that Root and possibly an Everfrost, that is going to be some heavy CC against the not-so-mobile Twitch.
Yep, you don't want to get caught in any ruptures or maybe even silences from Cho'Gath, because that could be the death of you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still a little bit puzzled, of course, by the team composition from DSEA, but I'm supposing it's going to be a Karma Twitch bot lane. And do you think that is favored for any of the two, or is it just going to be a farm fest?
It definitely looks like they're going to be able to get some nice poke off, with Karma's empowered Q, Twitch's W, things like that. I think that they'll really be looking at that. But I've also played against BS Primus's bot lane, not with Cho'Gath, but with Mundo. That was annoying, to say the very least. You couldn't walk up. They just freeze the lane in the mid. Okay, you walk up. The tank just walks up. You try and attack him. Oh, you're dead. Kind of thing. You're CC'd. There's nothing you can do. So I'm worried on they really pushed for this bot lane gap, and I think they're gonna get rewarded for it.
Okay, well, with that, we actually hit the end of the spectator delay. Now, I'm gonna give you a heads up that we will be trying out player cams for the first time during this match. However, the player cams will not be delayed by 3 minutes, and the video footage of the game will be delayed by 3 minutes. So the player cams are not in fact aligned, and we will work out how to get that fixed for another week. So for this week, we still have the player cams misaligned. So if some team starts cheering at some point and there's no fight going, then you know that's why.
And then we ask to keep your cheers until 3 minutes after you see it, so be with the rest of us.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's just gonna be a trial. The game has in the meanwhile loaded, so let's load into the game ourselves. Oh, I see that I forgot to change the abbreviations real quick, so that should be gone.
And here we have our first player cam.
Yeah, this is Killkipje. And as we had immediately the first pause.
And an immediate pause of the game.
Yeah, so it seems to be a pause by DSEA because of unfortunate ping times from the AD carry. So I think that should be Mr. King Mark 01. Yeah, so yeah.
Looks like they mentioned a remake in the chat, so we'll have to see how it turns out. But in the meantime, I want to see Volibear and Zach jungle. What kind of things is gonna happen in there? You know, I think they'll just be just a noodle pool fiesta going around type thing. There's not really gonna be much action going on there, right?
You mean in the top lane? Sorry, I was quickly trying to do something on the BS.
Sorry. No, the jungle matchups.
Jungle,
Zac against Volibear. You know what's gonna be happening. I'm not sure. I don't think many invades. They'll just be kind of keeping to their own thing.
Yeah, I think honestly it would be in favor of BS Primus to try and enforce vertical jungling. Trying to get the Volibear playing around bot side at all times. They focus 5 of their bans towards it. So why not play around it? You already said they really want to freeze that lane in front of their tower. So the best way to properly punish that, of course, is if you get that jungler around that bot lane at all times. That will really enforce DSEA Orange from not ever running forward.
And even if they do stay next to their tower, you got the Volibear ultimate knocks out the tower. What can you do?
Yeah,
it's a wonder. This is looking like a really nice dive team comp as well.
Yeah,
so also quite strong.
Exactly.
And now that we're back in the game, we immediately see a little bit of a divide on the teams. Everybody's going opposite sides.
Oh no!
Wow. Both trying to see what they can scrape off, but there's nothing here.
Yeah, well, to be fair, again, this is I think in favor of BS Primus because both teams are in the enemy red side jungle. This enforces vertical jungling. If BS Primus might decide to stay, they seem to walk away. But yeah,
both teams are kind of hunting for something that's not there.
So I think it looks like they are gonna wait and see if the DSEA Orange walks into this, but they walk out of the bush and they're slightly too early because here comes Twitch and they are just straight up too early. They're gonna stay and try for the invade, but
the DSEA Orange
seems to be aware. Oh no!
I don't think they might have seen Rise coming up, so it's gonna be a 3v3 down bot, and they know they're there. Karma throws out the Q and manages to get the little sprite showing them where they are. A little bit back and forth, but BS Primus is just gonna walk away from this. Yeah, get your buff and don't delay it anymore. Senna trying to steal it, but in a bit of a bad position to do so.
That was a very heads-up play by Mordax there, trying to land his Q into the bush, finds him, and in that way secures the red buff for his jungler, instead of getting called out by a rupture from Cho'Gath randomly. So very well played by Mordax. Honestly, I think that saves a lot of pressure in the bot lane over the course of the game, so yeah.
Indeed, now Volibear will be forced to go top and do regular side jungling, so that vertical and these ganks is probably going to be delayed just for a little bit, but at least this gives time for the bot lane to start setting up those freezes, get their level advantages, and set up their big alpha moments.
Oh no, level
And
2
we're
actually
gonna
gets
see the
hit first, and that means that immediately the engage comes. Now, Mr. King Mark having to flash and heal, but Vistopina suddenly is in problem, and he goes down to the poison.
And the poison.
Mr. King Mark now also in trouble, but it seems to be a trade 1-for-1. The flash away from Xenozet means that he's going to get away to safety for a little bit. Now Morix looking to the bush, winning this out probably only the auto attacks that he's got left. And yeah, 2-for-1 trade in favor of DSEA after a very hectic fight.
Now that was something I was not expecting. It was a very quick jump in from the side of BS Primus. Immediately retaliated. That damage from Twitch's poison was just uncalled for. The ignite and the poison just tore down Senna, and there was nothing she could do. Twitch forced to flash away. Xenozet comes in, cleans up the kill, but Mordax flashes right after him and just takes him out.
Yeah, I think honestly it was an overextension. Oh, never mind. We see a little bit of a fight going on in the jungle for the first scuttle crab here. I think Krielkipje gets a smite off, and Swirlix is now in a bit of a pickle. Has to flash away. So another win for DSEA Orange there. And now we see the press by Solo Q and Krielkipje and Kedenkedenk fighting out in the top lane, but I don't think much will happen there. Anyway, what I was saying about the bot lane is I think it was just an overextension from the bot lane from BS Primus. They tried to get the advantage in level 2, couldn't make the fight happen fast enough. Then DSEA Orange hit level 2, and then also BS Primus was continuously tanking those minions in addition to those DOTs. So it made it real hard for them to keep the fight going.
We're going to get a little bit of a scuffle in the mid lane. Zac is here now. It's a 2v1, but Rise is able to proc his movement speed and get out of there. Twitch is also coming in for a little bit of a cheeky bariki. Now he's going to be able to get in. He goes in, the charm misses, and looks like they're just going to be able to get some free damage off, and that's going to be... Is that going to be a kill with the poison left over? So close!
Rise
so close.
Walks away with about 70 hit points left, slightly less, actually 35. But yeah, he managed to walk away with a lot of pressure coming out from DSEA Orange in the early game now.
Yeah, it looks like they're really trying to capitalize on that. Twitch's poison, if he's able to stack it fast enough, is a big uncalled for moment, especially early.
Oh, another binding lands, and it's just a little bit of poke, but you know, binding show dominance.
Yeah, exactly. So push him out, throw him around a little bit, tell him who's boss.
What you mentioned earlier about the freeze, it does not seem to be going BS Primus' way as the wave is now pushing into the tower of the DSEA. So I'm not sure if the wave is going to stay here. Actually, with that Karma Q, it's not. So yeah, not everything going in the way that BS Primus really wanted it to go so far. So we're going to have to see if they can turn this around.
Zac is looking in here for a little jump in, but is it going to happen?
He actually managed to land onto Xenozet, and that means that he's going to get it. The rupture misses, and that means that also Visup is now in trouble because the kiss from Zac happens. Xenozet now walks away, but he's about on 50 health, but that means now Vorlux and actually also Naturalis are also there. Now the disengage comes out, and actually Xenozet manages to get away, but now Mr. King Mark is in problems, and he dies for it. Now Kedenkedenk in the top lane. Oh, that was good. He gets a kill, but the bot lane action is not gonna stop. Exactly, it is. Never mind. 1-for-1 across the map.
1-for-1 across the map. A nice little jump by Kedenkedenk, and top lane manages to get Wukong on that last one. Runs out of his clone, nothing to save him, and that is a 1-for-1 on both sides.
Teleports coming in from the press by Sodakyo because he knows he does not have to join their team at Dragon. The Dragon is already secured. Oh, Kedenkedenk fancying himself a little bit of fight. Goes in, stuns him again. He's 2 levels ahead, and the press by Sodakyo is going to go down again.
Wow, the teleport ult. Wow, that was terrible to watch.
Pressed by Soloq with the ultimate tilt-port, goes down, teleports back in, goes down again, does not expect a Gnar, who was already 2 levels behind, to just one-shot him like that, and that's going to be a tough lane.
Yeah, I did not expect the damage from the Gnar, honestly, neither did I. This was the classic Hessian teleport. Classic, and now...
How are we going to see this game progress right now? DSEA is like 1,500 gold up already. What does BS Primus need to do here?
BS Primus, like I said, I think they really need to start capitalizing on that bot lane. That Senna Cho'Gath is gonna almost render the Gnar useless late game. But if he gets too far ahead, of course, there's nothing they can do. That man can become a one-man team all by himself.
So we're going to have to see how they play around that bot lane there. For now, Volibear seems to be sitting in the mid lane bush, although his play is not going to work out. So
nothing really to gain from there. There's a little ahead in really everything from CS to levels. But, you know, doesn't seem... I don't think BS Primus should be worried just yet. They've, of course, got the scaling pick. Rise in the mid lane. Nobody getting too strong. And looks like this is gonna force their own vertical jungling, but not with their bot side, so they get priority in the bot side. Something that goes against BS Primus.
Oh boy, here comes another fight. Everything is going to go over the wall, and next year hits Visup. Visup is also going to have to give a kiss. No, never mind. They're not going to get kissed because he's already dead. Xeno Z now in trouble as well. Ari comes in and the charm lands and he has to run away. The pressure shadow Q has arrived, but he's probably going to be late. In fact, he's just going to get caught out. The binding for Karma lands and the pressure shadow Q has to make something work, but he is not the shy. He does not get that kill 1v4 and he goes down in a 1v5 situation because there was also a teleport from Goesting.
They have absolute control over the map now. Their map presence is incredible. 3-man bot lane at the first. Looks like BS Primus did not expect it and fell right into their trap. Classic play by Zach right there. It's the bread and butter. You stick over a wall, they don't expect it. It's a free double kill right there.
Yeah, and something I want to point out here is the vision control that the DSEA right now has around this bot side. Look at this, wards everywhere. They're just timing out right now, but like nothing that Volibear is going to be able to get done here. The DSEA recognizing their weakness in the bot lane and just working around it beautifully.
Able to make sure that they always have somebody close to bot to come and help out. Looks like when Volibear is there, they're at a loss, but in between those moments, that's when they take advantage. They seem to be able to recognize that and really defend against it.
Yeah, exactly, and because of all the vision that the moment Volibear tries to get near right now, it's very simple, they just walk away. Nothing they really need to do. Rise trying to get a little bit of poke damage on the mid lane, but...
A little bit of damage, good damage onto the Arty right there. But he needs a little bit more than that if he wants to kill her. Yeah, they can track all of Volibear's movements for now. See him going to the top side, so bot lane knows that they're safe for now.
Yeah, indeed. The vision now has kind of worn out from DSEA, so they will need to replenish that at some point. And in fact, 2 good control wards, ensuring that at least BS Primus has some vision over the map of themselves.
Yeah, they can track Ari if she wants to go down bot lane, and which is really good for them. Wukong might be caught out. No, doesn't look like anything's gonna happen there. And we're just back to a little back and forth in all lanes.
Yeah, definitely. Mordox here just continuing to look a little for poke. Xeno Z getting rooted, but you know, Master King Mark nothing gets knocked up and nothing really happens. We see in the top lane actually, if I head there, Goesting between 2 towers, but is he overextended? That's the question. It looks like he might be. He gets a lot of damage on the person actually goes down, but here is Swirlik. Can he actually take this fight as well? Swirlik seems to be winning it for now. Goesting lands the stun, lands the house, and now he turns back into Mininar. Can he kite this out? Seems like he can, and he's actually fancying his chances. He's not leaving. The flash forward Swirlik onto the Gnar, and his hubris gets shut down. The 700 gold, was it? Yeah, 700
gold shut down. Quite the looks like here's the heal and speed from
the teleport coming in for Rise. The action just does not stop. Lateralis tries to use his port into the bot lane, but it actually does not matter. The realm bar, nice try, but the escape there with the flash from Mordox is good enough.
In the bush as well, perfectly timed, so they didn't have vision on him when he flashed out and manages to juke the Rise. Beautifully done.
Yeah, so now we couple of times see BS Primus try and get anything done as they go now bot lane again, but they get caught out one more time.
Again and again, BS Primus making these mistakes.
Yeah, I think this is, they are trying to play towards a win condition, but just Orange is ahead of them every time. They just know what they're going to do, know what they need to do to counter it, and they are there. And it's making it really hard for BS Primus to play around bot side. Top side also hard losing. You saw Goesting diving 2 towers just a second ago. So BS Primus...
2 towers, nothing possible from Wukong there. It's just...
Yeah.
Thankfully, Swirlix was able to retaliate and get that shut down, but Wukong still at a huge deficit right now.
Yeah, and then combine that with the bot lane that just isn't working out, and VS Primus just cannot get any foot behind the door, and the door is slamming shut real fast right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a 10-3 game. You know, you get a 4k gold advantage throughout the team. That's starting to be a little significant. You see here Gnar getting some free proxy farm.
But however, dragon, that's good.
In the meantime, the dragon's gonna be taken, and Nilsa in a little bit of trouble. That's not gonna be the storm almost enough to take him out?
Oh no, he has
still
rooted.
Following up. Oh, Sender manages to take it out with the ranged Q, and they're still following up. However, Zax manages to jump away. Sven at the top. Goesting take a little bit of trouble at the top, but looks like he's gonna be able to shadow away.
Yeah.
That
So
could be
a
enough.
bit of a chaotic fight. Like Drake going over in favor of BS Primus. Actually, I was gonna say they have no foot in the game, but the dragons are starting to be interesting. The fact that they already have two means that they are not entirely out of this game just yet. They also find the kill onto Ari with a nice snipe. So not everything is doomed just yet. They're going very low actually, and he might have to flash. But Wukong also has flash. Can he get to the back? No, he doesn't, and he goes down.
The
That was a
solo
massive
kill,
mistake.
wow, against the 4-on-1 Gnar, who happened to be, just destroying him 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's a massive mistake by Kadenkadenk. I'm not sure how exactly that happened, but he just gets caught out. He overextends and he goes down for it here. Mr. King Mark 9 looking for a little bit of poke damage as he walks forward. Xenozet landing a little bit of poke damage back, but nothing really happens.
Nice little retaliation. There is Zac. Oh, they also managed to get the Scuttle Crab themselves, the big Scuttle.
Uh-oh, here goes Zac again. He actually lands onto Visupia and he tries to get the kiss. He does manage to get it off, but Visupia is not going to go down because there is shields and there is healings. But, oh, actually, Mr. King Mark 9 flashing forward on the tower goes down 2 1 for 1. Yeah.
It's 1 for 1, and Cho'Gath manages to get the shutdown gold, so not really that worth, even though it only went into the support. Ooh, looks like they're going to drop the Rift Herald down bot lane, get some of those tower platings before they go down in a couple seconds. Will it be enough? Will he be able to get the charge? Ooh, Volibear coming in with the stun onto the Ahri. Ahri manages to ult away, and looks like that's going to be the end of that, getting some...
Oh, hey, that's actually a stack for Cho'Gath. That's a free stack, bonus stack. So that's definitely worth it.
However, about what 320 gold going to the side of DSEA.
It's a stack though.
The stack, that's true. Anything for the stacks, and that's gonna be first tower going to Gnar up in the top lane, and we see Swirlix right at the top side jungle, but no backup, so he's gonna be forced to walk away from Gnar as he steals his Krugs right there.
Oh, my apologies. I'm quickly gonna see if the cams are working because they don't seem to be frozen. Okay, I'll remove them for now. I'll try and bring them back to the second game. My apologies. Or was it just Maxime's cam?
I think it's just his, because every time his pops up, he's just smiling.
Okay, well I don't know. I see on stream it's fine, so it should be fine for now, I guess.
Yep. Perhaps
I think it's just Maxime's
summary
cam,
again.
Yeah. Anyway, one more reminder by the way, is the cams are 3 minutes ahead from what we are seeing in game, as Koen Kadenk in the top lane is facing a little bit of opposition.
He managed to kite out the... Ooh, we have a little attack in the mid lane. The charms lands. The Ryze is completely CC. There's nothing he can do in return. Looks like they're going to try and fight Kadenk in the top lane. Mega Gnar coming out, and the press by Slowco is going to be forced to run away. Volibear is coming in. It's going to be a 2 versus 1. The ultimate comes and manages to stun both of them, and Gnar manages to walk away. Also, don't forget to back up the team summary.
Oh, I see that it's actually gone. My apologies. There it is.
And Twitch in a bit of trouble here. He's going 2v1, takes a huge amount of damage, but his poison manages to take out both of them. And Karma just waits for Seta to drop dead.
Yeah, ultimately he tried to give the kill to Twitch, doesn't manage to get it anyway. But 2 for 1, I think DSEA will take that. Yeah, so now looking at the game state, right? The fights have been going a little bit more back and forth than we expected. The gold is still 6,000 different, but the press was Shotoku getting that kill early in the top lane. We also see some back and forth fights going in the bot lane now. Do you think BS Primus has a solid way of coming back in, or do you still think this game is very favored for DCA?
Well, they've been able to get every single drink until now. I think that's something that they have able to set up for it. If they manage to keep up that tempo, I think they're definitely still relevant. Now everybody's starting to get their mythics. This goal difference starts to become, even though it's still 6k, just a little bit less relevant. Not by a lot, but we got these mythics with the items starting to roll out, people hitting their power spikes. Of course, if Primus plays this correctly, keeps with their ganks and their side lanes, and being together, their team fight composition, they win.
Yeah, I think a big breakpoint for them is going to be that Wukong item. Wukong currently 60 CS behind and not even on his first item, but as soon as he gets that, he has a real fighting chance, I think, against that Gnar in the top lane. We saw Armut on Mad Lions go ham on the monkey in the finals from LEC, so it's possible,
Yeah. Naturally,
DSEA
and looks like
now looking to
looks like Santa's gonna be caught up at the
protect.
back jump. That's gonna be an immediate deletion. Wukong trying to come in and do something. However, gonna be bursted down quite quickly. The Rapture lands on Gnar, but that's just gonna be depressed by Solo Q going down. The team is falling apart. Rise is starting to get cut out, takes some damage, forced to flash out, and DSEA still bloodthirsty, still looking for one more. Cho'Gath manages to stop the rush with his Rapture, but even under tower they're looking for it, and looks like they lost their chance at this dragon.
Yeah, they were looking to get it, but they just didn't get there in time. DSEA was already ready and waiting. Killcupy with a great engage, Visupy going down immediately, not even using the flash there, and that spells disaster for that. Now,
but this is what I'm talking about. BS Primus needs to use their team fighting comp. They can't keep doing this where Cho'Gath is all the way at the back. Visupy just gets caught out, and what more can you do, right? Wukong tries to jump in, do something. And he just dies in vain. They need to use their team fighting comp. They need to make sure that Volibear is there with the engage, with the stun, with the ultimate, and the tankiness for their team.
Yeah, and for now, Volibear is sitting on a Trinity Force, so does not have that tankiness available just yet. So they will need a little bit more golden time before that actually gets going. We see Killkeep actually being called out a little bit in the jungle as the camera pans away, because bot lane actually Lateralis and Xenozed are fighting the Gnar. Great route there into a second route. Managing to pick up the kill.
Jump away.
Killkeep does manage to get out, but the action does not stop here. Killkeep goes right back in onto Visupy, but Visupy does not go down, and Killkeep actually does. Twitch actually goes down by the jump from Volibear, but Volibear overchases and goes down to a Nilsa. A very chaotic fight, and
helping both of them.
3-for-1 in favor of BS Primus so far, and even though they had a massive gold deficit, their fights are looking promising.
Yeah,
and they're still chasing. Xenozed walking forward, lands inside and gets actually charmed up, so he cannot really follow up. But
and the Rapture lands on Forma. She's slowed. She's slowed. More slowed by the Senna, and there's no way she can get out.
That's a bit of a random teleport.
Coming in, I'm not sure you're looking for their Wukong. Maybe they're looking for the dive.
Here he goes.
He manages to dodge the charm with the clone, but isn't gonna find much more. He had the ultimate available, but there was nobody to follow up, so I don't think, not worth it at all.
Yeah, there's no way, so they can't even go for the tower immediately. So it was a bit of a questionable teleport, but the fights are working out, and that's just a 4-for-1 over the long run.
Yeah, they're starting to equalize. Now we're at an 18-11 rather than 14-7 type deal. So it looks like BS Primus. Maybe they're starting to recognize their strength. This is what I'm talking about. They fight together, they win together. And we just saw it with DSEA. Even though they were all kind of there was nothing they could really do against BS Primus, because they just clump up together, take them out one by one. What can you do?
Yeah. So, there's still a 4.5k gold deficit. So they're still
starting to close.
Yeah, it is starting to close, but there's still a significant gold lead. So the fact that they are able to find these teamfight victories means that the DSEA just isn't using their gold lead optimally. Let's actually have a look where that gold lead is located.
DSEA looking for the Baron right now. Looks like it's going to be completely free for them. As BS Primus slowly starts to make their way, but I don't think they're going to be at the end of time.
He actually gets it! The Flash E gets the actual stack and eats the Baron. That was a failed smite from Killkeep. In fact, he cannot even be blamed for that, because the Cho'Gath ult does more damage. Now, Rise into Balataris gets he rooted and charmed and he goes down, so it's a Baron for a single kill. But actually for 2 kills, because Xenozed also went down for that. But I do think he will take that any tank attack. It's very ambitious. Tower dives to second. Actually, the inner tower, he gets the kill, but he goes down for it as well. So I'm not sure how worth that was. Just delete one more Baron. The Primus picking up a bot lane tower, but that's going to be get traded in the mid lane as well. So a very chaotic game continues. A 3-for-1 in favor of DSEA this time, but the Baron ultimately gets stolen and goes to BS Primus.
What a beautiful play by Cho'Gath there. Ooh, wow, Twitch taking a lot of damage, managed to get root and ult by the Senna, but looks like that's gonna be it. Wow.
Yeah, nothing really happening there, visible and can't be targeted. So that's great. Now they're pressed by Soda Q, Morlox just see him coming, so nothing really happens here as well. But yeah, now that BS Primus has that Baron, I think they can really start stabilize. Oh no, Morlox does not have vision of that push. The flash ult. That was a bit questionable ult by the press by Solo Q of a flash. I mean,
flash as well. Yeah. He was right next. He could have just pressed R and it knocks up as well. You don't need to do it from the beginning.
Yeah, I agree. And the fact that he uses flash there onto Karma means Karma just flash over the wall and walk away. happily ever after.
Flash from the wall, flash for flash, doesn't matter.
Maybe he fat fingered it. Who knows? But yeah, now.
Oh
boy, Krillkipje is going to walk into two of them, but there's also Kadenk, and they are afraid and run away.
They're afraid to run away, but it's a 3v3 right here. Senna is there, has the damage. Twitch trying to stay in the back.
That's a lot of damage from the Twitch, and here comes a Gnar ult, and he gets everybody into the wall. Now rise over the wall, but he immediately gets stunned and charmed by Nadia, by Ari, and
Primus just wiped. There's nothing left.
4 for 0 really quickly because of the massive damage spread over the entire team coming from Twitch, followed up by beautiful CC from Gnar and Ari. And this gives the second dragon, the fourth dragon of the game, second dragon to DSEA, while they can also pressure the rest of the map. So very well played there. And you see the one time that BS Primus is not properly grouped, and they immediately get absolutely destroyed.
Exactly. Looks like DSEA is doing really well with their positioning, keeping their team in places where they can quickly respond. BS Primus, sure, they had the rise over the wall, they had Senna there, but all Gnar needed to do was jump in. Twitch focuses, and on the front line, it takes them out. It ungroups them. BS Primus is playing quite messy for their composition.
Yeah. Gnar overextended a couple of times this game, but this time he just runs away and nothing really happens. What is the next plan? What is going to happen? Are we going to see another random fight, or are we going to wait 3 minutes for the next Baron?
The next Baron, I'm not sure. Volibear's still working on that tankiness. Looks like he's going to build the Serexgage. And Wukong just doesn't. Just 1 and 5. I'm not sure what more he can do apart from every now and then picking someone out. But looks like Rise and Senna slowly building up that damage. Once that Rage Blade is finished on the Senna, that's going to be some good amount of damage coming out of her. So I think it really depends on what the Volibear and Wukong manage to do, because these are the front line, these are their tanks, these are the people that need to be there for these fights to be successful.
My apologies to the stream.
Oh.
I see.
Yeah, so these are the important characters for Blue Shell, and if they don't have them, there's not much that can happen. So in my guess, they should just try and turtle wait for the next Baron, win that, and slowly push the game in their favor. Oh, looks like Twitch is gonna come out in the back. Karma's completely caught out of the match. Twitch trying to kite away, all in the favor of BS Primus. It's a 2v2. The TP from Rise coming in.
Flash over the wall, and he actually managed to try and get the root onto, there we go, he gets charmed himself, but it doesn't really matter because it's not going to be enough from Anilsa to take the counter kill here. Kadenk trying to get the counter kill, and he actually does get it, even though the Realm Warp was about to pop, it's not enough. Now, it was a 3-for-3, so a very chaotic fight going into, honestly, DSEA's favor, because this means they can exert the pressure that they already had onto the inhibitors, and Kadenk, very strong, does not give a holy diggly darn, and he just goes hard and just makes your opponent go home. And the pressure shot goes out for the ace.
Mega Gnar pops in, stuns the Wukong, and there's nothing they can do. The perfect ace coming out.
Yeah,
Senna coming in, gets jumped on by the Zap.
He does a lot of damage. That's a tank, by the way, and Visuk is not having the greatest time of his life, but you know, Swirlix is there, and that means that he does get away safely. Now Kadenk looking for the retribution kill, goes down for it, and now Krillkipje is alone versus Swirlix. The two junglers duking out both tanks, but both have some damage as well, and trying to cost the life of Krillkipje. So over that entire period, both teams got 5 kills. That's how crazy this game has become.
31 and 7. What is that? That is 48 kills in 26 minutes. Almost 2 kills per minute.
Yeah.
We're nearing about 1.5 kills. This is quite the hectic game. Most of them have been going over to DSEA Delft, but even with that, BS Primus has managed to hold on quite well, able to take out DSEA on multiple occasions. But it's looking a little grim. This Twitch is starting to build lots of damage. He already has his... He's building a Last Whisper. He has his Runen and his... his mythic item.
Yeah.
Twitch has come online. He's able to just shred through these teams, as a Twitch is known to do. So I'm starting to get a little worried, Peppy. I'm really worried for BS Primus now. I'm not... Maybe they can hold it off, maybe they can't. It's gonna take something a little more than a Baron steal for them to get back into the game.
Yeah, I think something that we didn't touch on in Champs Flag maybe enough is that if the Krillkipje and Kadenk together find that engage, then Mr. King Mark 1 is able to just, and Mr. King is in range, he's able to just spray all over some people. And with the Lord Dominic's Regards now also finished, it means that he's going to do a lot of damage, not only to Vistupia and to Lateranus, but also to Swirlix, also to Xenozet and the Press by Soda Q. So they really need to make sure that the Press by Soda Q in a team fight is right on top of the Twitch and just slamming him and dunking him. Because that's the only way they're going to win.
Doesn't let them do anything. They need him to on standby rather than jumping in on the Ari or the...
Oh, Lateranus getting called out. And
is going to be
in
a
fact,
little bit of a
charmed,
problem.
and that means he goes down immediately. Then also going into the Press by Soda Q. It's going to be a 1v1 in the bot lane. Now Swirlix is joining and Kedenka is flashing forward and he gets the kill. The last auto attack is enough with the fade away, and now Swirlix is in trouble. He has to run away, but there is backup. The knockup lands and yikes, Kedenka goes down for an overextension one more time. The immediate response from DSEA is to go to, of course, the Baron on the exact opposite side of the map. It does not look like this is going to get eaten by Cho'Gath this time. The control ward comes out just to be sure of it. And this is going to be
they learned about it the first
Baron. Exactly. That was good to see that they learned, right? So it's going to be a Baron for DSEA.
They're heading over to Dragon right now. There's going to be a soul point for both teams. And looks like they're going to try to do a little bit of a fun bush and try and rush it, but it's going to be a 4v3 right now.
Yeah, they're going to try and rush it, but Creep is already in the pit. That means there's going to be a smite fight, and it goes over to another time to BS Primus. That is the 2 marks now in favor of BS Primus and no for Killkipje. Mr. Kimmark even overextended slightly, has to flash away from the rupture from Cho'Gath, and nobody goes down. That is a little bit of a miracle, and the dragon goes in favor of
everybody's low, everybody's dealing tons of damage. Quite the miracle that nobody fell from this.
Yeah, certainly with how the game has been going so far, everybody dies everywhere, now suddenly nobody dies. The flash, of course, actually it's really important to note. Mr. King Mark 1, no flash. Means if Wukong gets on top of him, no way of getting out. He just needs to hope that Morag is watching his screen and in order to peel for him.
Yeah, and that means that some level of hard CC must be used on him to take him away, whether that be Zac Ultimate or Jump, Gnar Ultimate or Adi Charm. Those are very powerful tools that could be wasted just on the Wukong and Twitch not having his flash.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a questionable fight, I think. So we're going to have to see. It's going to be all on execution. Honestly, the team compositions both have their merits. Who gets to fight their fight? That's going to determine who wins the game, I think.
Whose fight it is, who gets it at the beginning. It really, I think it's starting to depend a lot just on who gets the better engage.
Is Wukong in place to fight? Is Ryze able to deal his damage? Is Senna in the backline able to heal and deal damage from behind? Is there a proper peeling engage or ultimate from Swirlix? Xenozet needs to make sure that the backline is safe, but in the other side as well, Anilsa and Mr. King Mark 1, they're not both not on champions that have a really clear way into a fight, right? Mr. King Mark 1 of course has his ultimate and can sit back a little bit more, but in general, it's going to be very rough for both teams to actually make that fight work 100% of the time.
He's going to jump into the center forward to flash away. Artie right there. That was a beautiful timing. That would have spelled the death for her. But that's going to be already a flash down on both ADCs. This is going to be for quite some eventful fights.
Looking to show dominance.
Tower is almost down. Wow, Gnar just tanks the whole thing. He's going to be able to take down...
This is rough, because now actually you have the ultimate from Swirlix having to be used defensively. Now Gnar has to of course dip, but he already took the tower. And that means that there's no proper engage now, no easy engage from Swirlix. And that's going to make it hard to defend the second tower as well, and it goes down just like that. Oh, never mind, he goes with a different critical. Here he goes, he manages to knock up 2 people, 3 people now with his ultimate, and that means that Mr. Kimmark is going to fall. That's exactly the thing we needed him to do, and Killkipje goes in and he gets the kill onto Swirlix, and then also onto Senna, and then also onto Wukong, and DSEA is engaging, and PS Primus is disengaging, and it's all going the way of blue team, and it looks like this might be the end of the game. Killkipje flashing in, actually Killkipje flashing in place just for a good measure. I don't know who it was exactly, but whatever, and it looks like this is going to be the end of the game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the game freezes. That means the game was over. Somehow the spectator bug is still in here. So yeah, I'm gonna get our faces right back up here. The game over.
Wow.
1-0 in favor of DSEA Orange after a very hectic game.
Quite a hectic game. Wow, that reached what, almost 2 kills per minute, and we're playing at quite a high level here. This was a great game of League of Legends.
Yeah, it was great to see. It was very back and forth. One team leading, other team coming back even further, and then one team going back into the lead. And it was unpredictable. Lots of kills, lots of fighting. Very entertaining game indeed. And the great thing is we're going to get another game of this. They're going to come back. They're going to take a break for a couple of minutes, and we're going to take a break for a couple of minutes as well. But then the teams are going to come back, and they're going to fight it out one more time to see who takes home the series. Now, of course, DSEA Orange can go 2-0 or 1-1, and BS Primus can go 1-1 or 0-2. So it's going to be very important for BS Primus to take home this victory.
Take home this W.
Exactly.
Yes. I hope they're able to play better in the next game. This was, although they did play well, they managed to hang in well. It was quite still messy. Beautiful plays by the players, but overall, still a messy performance. I'm excited to see how they learn from their mistakes and play in the next round. So.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this fourth week of the DSEA League of Legends Spring Competition. We just saw a very first game of today, DSEA Orange versus BS Primus, after a very epic game was taken by DSEA Orange. So we're going to head into the second game very soon, and for that I am of course still joined by Bear. Bear, are you hanging in there, buddy, after this first game?
Oh, what a beautiful series. Of course, I'm here to see how it all ends up. I hope you are too, chat. Saw some love for the big bear, love for you guys. And I'm very excited to see where it ends up. Hopefully, BS Primus can learn from their mistakes, focus on that bot lane, and we can see another beautiful game of League of Legends.
I am very intrigued to see what is going to happen very soon. The teams are both already ready in the lobby, so it shouldn't be that long before we get into the second game.
Mm-hmm.
And to that extent, do you think anything needs to change, or do you think everything should stay the same?
So, I was thinking about it, I think really that BS Primus needs to switch up their strategy a little bit. Last game, we talked about how they should force the vertical jungling and that. But I missed how the jungler presence, the Volibear presence down in the bot lane. I thought that was something that was going to be really prevalent. That Volibear was going to be there all the time, kind of babysitting their lane and focusing on that bot lane since they spent all of their bans on the bot lane, right? Against Mordax. So I'm hoping to see if they pull off something similar to that. I'm hoping to see how they're able to push, maybe have more jungler presence, maybe more counter jungling, something like that, to keep themselves afloat. Because in the end, it was those Zac and Gnar engages plus the Twitch DPS that just tore them apart. There was nothing they could really do at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think what happened is that they had an early game plan. It got thwarted by a single Q from Karma. It got thwarted, and then they didn't really find a way back into that plan. They kept trying to execute it and it just didn't work. So, and that really made sure that the Senna couldn't scale properly. The Cho'Gath was constantly under pressure. The Twitch was able to just get off damage left and right, and of course, Gdank in the top lane was just doing his own thing. That made it very hard for BS Primus to come back. So I really want to see a composition that has that a little bit more standard, maybe. I don't know if that's the correct way of saying this, but a little bit more slightly easier bot lane, I guess, because they were really struggling there, and they really needed Volibear to be there, and Volibear just couldn't be there. So
couldn't be there when they needed him. Leaves when you most need him. I will be right back. I am having some slight technical difficulties, so I'll be back in about a minute or so.
Yeah, okay, sure. Then, of course, meanwhile, I'm going to ask chat. I'm not sure how many Blue Shell fans and DSEA fans are here, but I would love to see who of you think that Blue Shell is going to bring it back and have a 1-for-1, and who of you are who believe that DSEA is going to be able to take home this 2-for-1, and it's going to be a very, very important 2-for-1, in fact, because if we look at the standings one more time. If you give me a second that I can pull them up. There we go. You see that if DSEA Orange were to lose here today, win here today, then they still have a shot actually at making first place, depending on who wins between Erasmus and Zephyr there. So, very important winner for DSEA Orange. On the other side, of course, if BS Primus wins here today, they kind of deny Orange that chance. They get themselves a fighting chance, in fact, against Zephyr Hydra next week. If Erasmus beats Zephyr Hydra today, then they will even have a chance of bringing it all the way to this second place, which will progress them as well, as long as DSEA Orange loses to DSEA Link. So a very important game for both teams. So let's hope they are. Let's see if they bring it home at some point. I see a lot of Blue Shell fans in the chat. Of course, it's great to have you here. You're welcome to the DSEA channel. I'm glad you are watching here and, of course, spectating and supporting Blue Shell. Honestly, in crowd, I think Blue Shell is winning it right now because DSEA is remaining awfully silent in the chat. I think they might be dreading the revenge that Blue Shell is planning right here.
Yes, we will have to see what they have in store for them. Maybe this was just a warm up game. Really, waiting to show what DSEA what we've got in store.
Yeah. We're going to have to see what happens. We see that there's a 1 minute coming for for BS Primus. So in about 1 minute we should be able to get going. So yeah, that leaves us with some final thoughts on what we are going to need to see from the next game. Dus yeah, jungler. Honestly, I think a lot of the picks from BS Primus, my apologies, worked in a vacuum. Like in the individual matchup was fine, and like the champions are viable competitively. I think just like the way it all came together was a little bit rough. I think the bot lane, for example, really required a very active jungler, and with Volibear, I mean, can be very active, but he got shut down early, so it was very rough to play. And the mid lane, Ryze kind of wants to scale, but against the Ahri and against the Zac, it was very hard to actually get that going. You know. So I'm not sure if they how they need to change it. I think the Ryze, for example, had very much the intention of trying to roam towards the bot lane. Maybe the problem is just individual skill, right? Because a lot of ideas were there, but none of them just got executed on. So
yeah, we saw quite a few times, or well, a couple times, the Ryze trying to get into the bot lane, especially that Realm War play that we saw, but he just wasn't ready for the execution for follow up the Karma Flash, and that was the end of that. And yeah, I do have to agree, these picks, these picks work in practice, but it seems Blue Shell Primus has a bit of trouble bringing it all together, making the sandwich and putting it out on the tray, you know. So, I'm looking forward to see how it does, because even though on DSEA's side, you know, some of these picks were a little interesting. They were still able to, you know, put it together, play it well, and bring home the victory. But yeah, I'm interested to see, because even though Nar was ahead most of the game, and even then he was able to, he was still getting caught out. There's still moments when he could be taken out just by the Volibear, for example. So there was still a good amount of chance for Primus to come back and win for themselves. But I think they missed a couple moments to They missed a couple just general plays to capitalize on and get ahead.
Yeah, there's some players still getting ready, so that's why we are stalling a little bit. It shouldn't be that much longer anymore. Actually, let's go back here. So yeah, actually maybe we can have a look at the other matches that happened today so far, see if anything has already come to a conclusion. It looks like DSEA Redmi has beaten DSEA Green Beans 1-0.
Did not switch the camera, right?
Yeah, I put it back on the casters, but I think it doesn't really matter right now. Dongan City Gaming. Okay, never mind on that one. Goesting, of where we just watched, and Erasmus Taxi Drivers is currently leading the game against Zephyr Hydra. That's good news for DSEA Orange, in fact, because they have a lead in the head-to-head against Zephyr Hydra. So that means that if they win today, and Erasmus Taxi Drivers wins today as well, they are going to be taking over that second place already. So that's good news for them. And that gives them very good chances to make it out of groups.
Yes. Yeah, a little bit of a convoluted mess this was, but it's but yeah, it looks like it's starting to come into the favor of Oranje Goesting. Now we are starting to get into the pick ban phase, and looks like Lulu's gonna be the first one. Looks like they're starting with that Mordax counter picks.
Yes, it looks like they're immediately targeting Mordax one more time, so they don't believe that the problem was, my apologies for the double transition by the way, that the problem was there, so it looks like they might be targeting the same way. The Kha'Zix as well, another repeat ban, so let's see how that works out. Now that
it looks like here comes the Zac, looks like they don't want to play against that again.
Interesting, so the immediate, not immediate, but almost immediate pivot already. Banning the Zac, but I'm not sure if the Zac really was the problem, to be honest. So we'll see how they use this ban to get an advantage compared to last game. The Rel already off the table. I think that was banned last time as 4th or 5th from the ECA.
One of the later ones. Looks like they might want to. They're afraid they might go for the early bot lane draft. Primus might go for the early bot lane draft and get that rel. Uh, so yeah, I know Morgana again. Looks like they're following pretty similar to their last ban phase.
Ooh.
Seraphine going as well. Interesting.
Seraphine was the ban coming out from Blue Shell
Primus.
Primus last time on 5th. So the fact that DSEA is now banning it as well might suggest that it's a very strong pick.
Yes. Then nobody wants to play against it. They're just okay. We're done with this. Enough of this in solo queue.
Exactly. So, and speaking of solo queue, the guy that is depressed by it now picks up the Gnar.
Realizing he is a strong pick. He also has some games on it, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be nice to
And
see how Primus is able to pick it up themselves.
yeah, last game we saw Goesting kind of showing his muscles a little bit against the press by solo queue. So, you know what, the press by solo queue probably wants to fight back a little bit as the Echo gets picked up, and that is likely to be in favor for Goesting as he is the only Echo player I know.
Right. Is this going to be a top lane Echo?
I think it will be a jungle Echo, in fact. So Goesting heading over to the jungle this time.
Okay, interesting. It has been a while since I've seen a jungle Echo.
Yeah,
definitely a welcome surprise.
An oddball pick, but one of the more.
Ooh, a misfortune as well on the side of DSEA Goesting. And now we're going to see a Gwen hover.
Gwen is available, so you know it could very much be picked. Currently, of course, not the strongest champion, but can be very annoying to deal with for AD carry specifically.
Indeed. I remember playing against her not too long ago, and that's going to be the Varus.
Varus, okay.
Blue Shell Primus.
Interesting. Because Misfortune, Varus, Alistar even. Okay.
Varus, Alistar, wow. Okay, looks like this is going to be a classic combo coming from Blue Shell Primus. I know Xeno said does play a lot of Alistar.
Yeah, I gotta say,
and Visopia.
Into the Misfortune and without seeing the support, exactly because of this reason, I'm not a big fan of the Alistar Varus just yet. So we're going to get to see if they can pull that off. But the set now locked in by Mordox, which in my opinion is a very strong pick against that Alistar. Means that it can be a very good lane for DSEA. Orange. Volibear finding his way to the bench as well.
Looks like they scared them off a little. And my apologies, it was Visopia that would be playing the Alistar.
Yeah, okay.
An immediate Volibear ban. Looks like they still don't want that. They kind of realize its power.
Yeah, the Volibear ban, of course, was very prevalent last time, and this time again.
Gonna be another Ahri ban. They're probably gonna pick another scaling champion that doesn't like to fight against people. Ones like Ahri, someone that can really punish them in the early mid game. Type deal that doesn't let them scale.
Yeah, so I am not sure where the players from DSEA Orange are going to go, to be honest.
Ooh, it looks and a Victor target ban on Lateralis. Maybe they're expecting him to play Rise this game and are hoping to counter pick him. This is one of his signature champions, been played over several seasons. So
yeah, I think also last game Victor was banned, and therefore Lateralis tried to go for the Rise. Didn't work out for him last time. Honestly, not that impressive on it, I gotta say. So maybe he will find another pick this time. Diana now being banned, targeted at both jungle and mid lane, even though we're not even sure who's going to go either lane yet. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Who's going where? It could be a set top, Echo mid. Who knows?
I think given the lane, Set and Misfortune will be heading into the bot lane, into the Varus Alistar, because that's a very fine lane for them. But you know, Goesting here hovering the Sona could very well just be a complete throw over, and that means that the set is going to be going Nami even.
Whoa. Nami Misfortune bot lane, okay.
Presumably, yeah. It could be a Nami mid lane for all I know. But I think you were correct with saying that set will be going to the top lane. But I don't like that. I was already saying that I really like the set into Alistar. I like the Misfortune into the Varus. So the fact that they're now switching it up is weird to me.
Yeah, because the set, like, Alistar jumps in, set can just pull him in. He's all about that fight. He's all about being up in the race, and that's something Alistar does. So you're putting set in his most comfortable position.
Yeah.
But by putting him in the top lane, now you're putting him against the Gnar, who loves being at the back, loves kiting. You know, that's something set. Sure, he has his speed up on Q, but that's just about it. You know.
Yeah, and the
So it's
response here from Blue Shells is actually very nice. I like the Elise pickup here, because together with that Gnar, they are going to make the top lane like really hard to play. Elise is a very strong early game tower diver, for example, and Gnar as well, with a lot of early harass and poke coming out onto the set. So we're just going to have to see how well this ends up going for the team of DSEA Orange, because honestly, I gotta say, I outright dislike the swap, the top lane set instead of the support set. Maxime Mordak's not even playing support this time, by the way, heading over to the AD carry role. So I'm not sure about this. I think DSEA Orange needs to show up and show me why they are right and I'm wrong. Because I mean, it does not look like it's going to be very much something you can make anything of.
Mhm. But it looks like it is a Pyke and Krugtipia, one of his signature champions.
Yeah.
And looks like this will be a nice, at least a comfortable bot lane for them.
Yeah, and honestly, if I look at these team compositions, the only spot where DSEA Orange can really hope to provoke something is with that Pyke. But even then, like, Zoe is squishy, sure, but Lateralis, if he lands his bubbles on the correct timings, at least just walks in and kills the Pyke. You know, that's a free Cocoon. Cocoon doesn't even deal damage, so you don't honestly wake the Pyke even. So, yeah, I really like this Elise pickup for both top lane and for mid lane, and I think it's going to make it really hard for DSEA to win. Because Misfortune is fine into Varus, but Alistar is just going to honestly just make sushi out of Nami, I think.
Indeed. Doesn't matter what Nami does, Alistar can tank, Alistar can get out of the CC. It's
exactly.
He can just be the front line. Varus doesn't even need to get up close. Varus just needs to throw
back.
Qs, press R every once in a while, and sure they can try and come in. Maybe the Pyke roams down, but Alistar just presses W, Q, and he can walk away scot-free, right?
Yeah, I think specifically from level 6 onwards, Varus is just going to press R at random points in the lane. He's going to either hit Misfortune or he's going to hit Nami, and Alistar just free just to walk up, pulverize, walk behind them, headbutt, and nothing they can do about it. And
Indeed.
that's just,
almost
that's
almost a guaranteed kill for him. This is, if they manage, of course, it all depends on whether they play it right or not. But I think, again, BS Primus just has the advantage down in the bot lane.
Yeah, I agree. And last game, of course, it was a little bit of a questionable lane where they needed the jungle to come. That didn't work out. But at this time, I think, as long as they don't get their overextensions and punished by Echo, which honestly at this point, I don't think Echo is very strong at punishing overextensions early. So they might be able to just get something off where they shouldn't be able to. But so yeah, I think this pivot from DSEA Orange away from the set and the support, because Set is really strong with Alistar because he goes in and he goes back out because Set just dunks him right back, and he can even
like,
interrupt.
You're with me.
Yeah, exactly. But he can even interrupt the headbutt with his facebreaker, right?
Yeah.
So and
with
Nami
and with his ultimate, it's the perfect setup for Set.
But on the other side, of course, I mean, okay. So I'm to be real with you, Nami has two ways of interrupting the headbutt as well. With the wave, which is technically doable, but not easy, and with the bubble, which is hardly possible. Yeah.
Technically doable, but not easy. Again, yeah. But now I'm seeing BS Primus take a completely different route than they did last time. Now they're going for something a lot more poke, a lot more burst than before, where they were looking for that standard composition. You got DPS and you got your tanks, but now they're looking for something a little different. They got that Elise and that Zoe and Varus for burst, for the executes type deals, and Gnar and Alistar for hard engage and damage type deals.
Yeah, I think I like this composition from BS a lot more than the last one, and I also dislike the composition from Orange a lot less than the last one. So the 1-for-1, I think it's something that could definitely be a thing.
It looks like yes.
But let's actually have a look if that's going to be the case, because we are loading into the game as we speak, so we should see the teams go head to head any second now. Give us a couple more seconds, and there you might already hear the sounds. Here we go.
And here we go. Pings are being thrown out. They're wondering where to go. We'll see if we get another complete map split. Both teams no idea where they're supposed to be going. Ay, ay, ay.
This time it's BS going top lane and DSEA is going to go bot lane. So
Wow.
we see the exact same thing as we see last time. Both teams are going to completely miss each other and be very confused as to what happened to the other team. But I do think this again favors BS Primus here because they really wanted Elise near the top lane. So yeah, it's going to be something that this really helps with the vertical jungling and stuff.
Yeah, because bot lane can just play it really safe. They don't need a jungler. They're a strong independent lane that doesn't need no jungler type deal.
Yeah.
And they can get that mid lane, that top lane ahead, get the Gnar nice and tanky, make this set relevant, and put them well ahead.
Now let's see if DSEA Orange is more patient than BS Primus was last time. And if BS... No, they're not. Never mind, they're running away already.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. This time there's not even a contest. And that means that Swerx is going to get to his red buff for free. I think he should have started top lane there. But whatever, he goes bot lane anyway, and he gets the vision down. That's also worth a lot, of course.
That's nice. Yes, they managed to get the... Wow, I'm surprised that DSEA did not get any wards onto the red buff. So that means that BS Primus has a nice little advantage for Orange Hoesting's red buff right now.
Yeah, to be fair, they of course know that the bot lane was away from the lane for a long time, so they can definitely infer that Swerx started on his own red buff, but could be a fake, as Lateralus gets.
When a little bit of a problem starting down in the mid lane, he manages to get the hook onto the Zoe. Here comes both Ignites down. Here comes one flash. What was that?
Okay, almost. That's a big win for QCup, honestly. Getting the flash out for not using his own flash this early means that Lateralus is going to play super safe until his jungler comes out to help.
So, I think if Lateralus would have capitalized on it a bit more, he would have been able to get the flash of QCup down, but yeah, he was playing a little scared. He managed to get the hook, and that is just not good. Now we're seeing some artillery from the Varus from the bush into the lane. Classic type deal. I think we're gonna see a little bit more of that as we go on.
Yeah, and in the meanwhile we see both junglers pathing towards that bot side, but here Echo immediately going for the punish onto the flashless Lateralus, and the flash forward into the stun means that Lateralus is going to go down. And we mentioned in Champ Select that Kedenk would need to get something going maybe in the bot lane, but he does get it going in the mid lane because of that early flash already. And yeah, that's just good web awareness from Kedenk, honestly. Creative play, and it works out.
Yeah, and I have to disagree with your being able to, what was it, catch people out. The Echo, I think, is really good. Oh, here comes the headbutt W from the Alistar. Forces the Misfortune to flash and cleanse out. Interesting, no need for the cleanse, but she forces it anyway. Quite late. She could have cleansed that headbutt, that pulverize, and got her out of the stun. But that's quite a heavy toll on the bot lane. That means they have a 2-minute window of free pulverizes onto the...
Oh, Swerx in the top lane.
Swerx in the top lane. He forces the flash out onto the set. Elise forced to repel out from the tower range, and looks like that's going to be it. That's going to be a pulverize, a stun onto the Nami. That's going to be another flash, and is that going to be a kill? Yeah. That's going to be a flash from the Varus onto the kill, and they're just going to get a little poke onto Mordax, but doesn't have the Q ready for the follow-up.
Yeah, and the bot lane that has been oppressed the entire previous game strikes back in a 2-for-2, just straight up solo kill, and gets it down. And very impressive stuff from the side of BS Primus, honestly.
Non-stop action from these teams, everybody.
Quite a game that we're seeing. Uh-oh, Lateralus.
Lateralus getting caught out again. Echo coming in with the stun, and Pyke with the stun. That's going to be a very dead Lateralus. I'm sorry, bro, but that's not going to look very good for you. Inside of the minions, Echo's inside of the minions, taking a lot of damage from Elise, but manages to walk out on a 10% health, and he's going to be able to get out from there.
Yeah, that early flash from Lateralus gets punished twice now, and it is not looking anything better. He really needs to flash back up. It's going to be about 1.5 to 2 minutes before that is back, so it's going to be rough until then. And the fact that QCup now is going to get ahead on that assassin, on that very snowball-heavy champion in the mid lane.
It's extremely mobile, roaming assassin meant for, Suddenly he's in the middle lane, suddenly he's not, and what do you know? There's a double kill down bot.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that he is playing this roam heavy style means that his advantage in the mid lane is going to be translating to an advantage in the side lane if they played as well. And that is the rough part. So BS Primus really needs to find a way of stopping this kill capture on this spike and really setting him down in the mid lane.
It's really on Lateralis to use his range against Pyke, honestly, because as Zoe, you have your Q, you have your ultimate as well. It gives you such a big range of motion, such a big range um, of damage that you really just have to use it against somebody like Pyke, who, if he wants to get on top of you, either he has to land his hook or waste his only mobility to get on top of you. So I'm looking to see Lateralis use this.
Yeah. And the press by Sodaku in the top lane, meanwhile, about 10 CS ahead. Of course, there's a couple of minions alive still. Mr. King is going to be able to pick up. But, you know, you see the pressure of the Gnar really working out one more time here in the top lane. Just we see it like we happened to see it last game. So, yeah, for now, except for that mid lane, which is already exactly what we highlighted, of course, in the Gem Select, this game seems to be going in favor of BS Primus much more than last time.
Yeah, now getting that poke out. Looks like there's going to be a little gank by Echo. He has already used his hop, so he's not going to be able to get out. Into the thing, the flash.
Wow!
Echo's parallel divergence, and that's going to be the kill onto the Echo. Amazing, but that's also going to be traded for a Infernal Drake down bot. Goes for to. Ooh, wow.
Bubble giving him the ghost, and it's actually able to force Steel Kick out of lane means that he gets to pick up that a lot of CS actually for free. That's really good for Lateralis, helping him back into the game as he was falling 10 CS behind already. That gank top lane, really well executed, but it does give Swirlix the opportunity to actually get an invade on that bot side. We see Echo doing the same thing on the opponent's top side, so the split map, as we already called, but about
opposite sides than what we wanted.
Yeah, opposite sides than what we hoped to see, and also about 7 minutes late into the game. But you know what? They're getting there slowly.
They're working towards there, you know.
Yeah. So
yeah, but I think this is something BS Primus has very nicely up. They're able to capitalize on these objectives. When the junglers top, they know, let's take Dragon right now. And botlane has done a very good job of maintaining themselves. You know, here we see a 10 CS lead onto the Varus. And yeah, we'll see how he keeps turning out. Looks like he's going to go for Lethality Varus. Some very nice token damage.
Echo. Here he goes.
Echo coming up again.
Oh, that was a good jump.
Wall up, the double hop, and he's starting to run away. He's slowed down by the Echo Q, by the smite. Elise is on the way, however, she's completely outside. Pyke is on the way, manages to get the ult out of nowhere, and she manages to use the blast gun to get away. Wow.
Good reaction from Krillcappy there, managing to pick up the kill with that ultimate out of nowhere, as you already called. Oh, here comes Xenozet, the cleanse forced out from Mordax immediately, but now Nilsa is in a lot of trouble. And there
that's gonna be double kill down for Xenozet. Unless they're gonna be able to pick up the Elise up top. I'm not exactly sure what happened there.
I think they just continued to dive. Elise was already very low and just did not manage to get the recall off, so just to continue to dive there. Now Mordax also having to flash away from that piercing arrow from Varus means that the bot lane now with double flash is not available is very vulnerable against that Hex Flash from Vistupia, against that Ignite from Vistupia, and against that Corrupting Darkness. I'm not sure what the ability is called.
Corrupting Chains.
Corrupting Chains. I almost got it from from Varus.
From Varus, indeed, and that was a really nice use of the cleanse by Mordax, but it was still not enough to save the Nami, and Ilsa, who still fell to that. And looks like we're gonna get back to regular jungling patterns for at least for Elise. She's gonna be able to pick up for blue buff and do as she pleases, but this Gnar top is really being shut down by the Echo, and Echo is looking really to focus on shutting down the Gnar. Obviously, on that top lane, what we expect from the Elise is now happening by the Echo. So I'm seeing where she's gonna go, how she's gonna respond to this, because she can't let that set or Pyke really get this far ahead, given that the Pyke is already 3-0. He's already roamed a little bit, but we'll see how much more it gets as we go later into the game.
Yeah, I think it's important to notice that the scoreboard says, oh, never mind.
Another gank by Echo down in the mid lane. We see just immediately blown up the dash, the E. Ooh, looks like a little pulverized into the tower by the Alistar. Gets targeted by the tower. The triple stacks by the Varus and deals a ton of damage onto the Misfortune, drops dead. They're now chasing onto the Nami, however, she's a little too fast. At least being caught out by the Echo. They're still chasing, now Pyke is there. Here comes the Parallel Divergence. Is it going to be enough to stun her? Looking at the minimap, looks like it was not. She managed to repel out in time and crawl away to safety.
Yeah, I was about to make this point actually. The gold difference is only 1,000, but I think the gold difference on individual lanes is much bigger than that. Gold swaying very heavily depending on what lane you're looking at. And we see another fight in the top lane, but I don't think much is going to happen there. Yeah, just...
Pulling out way ahead of the Gnar. Pyke looking for something from the Varus. He manages to dodge it perfectly, however, Pyke is still pushing on. Varus in quite a bit of trouble, gets caught up by the Nami, by the Pyke ultimate, and that's a lot of gold out of DSEA. Just from that.
That Pyke ultimate, granting him 600 gold from the stack 300 bonus. Oh, never mind.
Lateralis being caught out once again, and that's another 600 gold onto the side of...
Oh, Mordox!
Oh, look at her.
Again!
Second time. Again, Mordox.
Mordox is not having the greatest team, but he's lucky that the rest of his team around him is absolutely stomping the rest of PS Primus. Killkeep with that ultimate I was going to say already got 600 gold from... Are you going to fight again? Are you kidding me?
Oh, a little fight again. I'm not sure what much can Visopia do here. Elise is coming in, but she's a little too far away to get into that CC chain by the Alistar. So it doesn't look like much is going to happen. And Echo's going to move towards Drake. Looks like now they at least have vision control there with a Scuttle Crab. And I'm not sure if Blue Shell Primus is going to be able to push back and get it as they have done in the past.
And those single like 2 or 3 kills swung the gold by 2,000 now in favor of DSEA by plus 3,000.
That's the power of Pyke. That's
the point I was going to make. That single kill that he got there gave the team about 900 gold plus assist gold, so about 1,000 gold for just one kill instead of just the normal 300. So that's massive in favor of DSEA. So yeah, it looks like they're able to utilize that Pyke from the mid lane. That was kind of the crux of their composition, I guess, to get Pyke ahead. They have managed to, with of course the level 2 flash force from Pyke on that Zoe, they managed to actually get the kill when Connected came mid. And that really helped them snowball this lead. We see Pyke exerting his pressure all throughout the river, and also just not safe for Snorlax to really walk up anywhere. Because he really needs to make sure his butt is covered everywhere.
Exactly.
So, and the fact that Killkeep here is exerting all that pressure now is allowing Kedanken kind of all free reign over the river, or maybe even over the dragon. Killkeep here just fishing.
That was almost another catch out onto Lateralis. He keeps getting caught up by these. That's gonna be Echo onto the Elise. Elise forced to repel out. She manages to dodge and flash out of the Pyke. Pyke jumping onto Lateralis with the Pogger's Claw. She gets completely blown up by the Nami ultimate and the damage from Pyke. However, Varus is able to burst him down and get the shutdown on him. Set in between a rock and a hard place. Wow, Elise just taken down right under tower by the Echo. Set taking quite a bit of damage. He is being backed up by the Echo.
Oh, the Haymaker.
Wow, now we're taking down the Misfortune right there. Set using the Alistar to jump right in, right where we were talking about champion select, and they are both taken down. Both bot lane is taken down.
Oh, the press for Q. The massive Gnar
coming in, Mega Gnar coming in right at the perfect time. He jumps right onto the Echo, but he manages to ult, getting all of his health back. He's jumping right into the Parallel Convergence. It's not enough to stun him. Echo has the shield, but are his cooldowns? Is it enough? Is it enough? It's not. The rewind of Echo's Q manages to pick out Gnar.
Yeah, I think that was 5 for 4 across like a full minute or 1.5 of fighting there. A lot of kills going down, and now the gold difference is, I think, 3,000 still, so surprising that nothing shifted there. Really, but the big thing was Xenozet picking up the shutdown onto Killkeep. Oh no! Killkeep with the Prowler's Claw!
Wow! Onto the back of Zoe and manages to get the stun on her. There's nothing he can do. Yeah.
Thank you, Timortius, by the way. You are incontestably correct. Let me just get the correct scores and correct team names going. Thank you. I'm not sure how long you've said that already, but DSEA Orange is playing on the red side, leading 1-0 over the Blue Shell Primus in this very bloody game. The press by Q being actually very strong right now, so looking for a fight, but maybe not strong enough to fight the Pyke on the tower.
Not too strong, and it's not enough. completely into that, and looks like red team looks like DSEA Goesting is going to be able to get the Ocean Drake now that we have. Ooh, looks like Misfortune is chasing down onto the Alistar. Echo coming in for dive play. Is it going to be enough? It's going to be for down bot lane, and Zoe is also coming in for the backup. It looks like they're going to walk away from that. A little too unsafe for them. Wow.
Also, I wanna. Oh, never mind. As we get a minute, maybe no. Echo
being stunned by the Zoe. Ooh, that's a lot of damage onto the Echo. He still has his ultimate available, so he can ult whenever needed. But looks like he's just gonna dash over the wall and get back to safety. Pyke looking for a little bit of a pick lateral. Needs to be careful here again. He's already 0-6 from all of these Pyke Qs. Is he gonna be able to catch it up? He's gonna be able to put it onto her. Lateral is forced to jump away. Here's the double stun and gets the shutdown onto the Pyke. That's a 600 gold shutdown onto Lateralis. Some very nice gold coming his way.
Yeah, very important that he managed to land the bubble there, because that buys time for Spurlux to come in and actually get the cocoon, and then the Battlestar ultimately picks up the kill. What I wanted to say, if we get a minute here, is that the player cams that you can see on stream are a test run. We wanted to see if they worked and how they worked. So that there, it's about 3 minutes ahead. So that means if you see somebody cheering for something, it means that in 3 minutes something is going to happen for them. So just
your clause for 3 minutes later.
Exactly. So that's why the caster cams might look a little bit off. We're looking to apply them more properly in the semi-finals and finals in a couple of weeks.
Crucial Primus looking to get Big Shelly here. Some nice picking up the pace on the objectives, and Alistar coming into the mid lane trying to get that set into a bad place, gets a stun out, and gets a stun onto the set. He manages to reel both of them in. Now Pyke is coming in, almost manages to get Lateralis. He manages to get away just in time. Now you got 3 members onto the Pyke. Bang, bang, bang. Nar takes him down with the 3rd strike. Echo coming in, he manages to get some damage, and
the wave
uses his stage. The wave comes in. Nar gets taken in by the set and taken down. Wow.
What?
Echo coming in with the dash, jumps onto the Zoe and is taken down. Alistar almost dies by trying to push the Echo away. Slightly unnecessary. Echo coming in for the dive, gets the shield, at least gets the rappel on top, and Varus gets the ultimate onto the Echo, gets that 1000 gold shutdown. Really nice gold onto him. They're still looking for a bit of a fight. Set trying to run and find something, there's nothing there, and Varus now holding down the mid lane.
Yeah, what we saw there was Krielkipje trying to go for a kill, but he missed his ultimate onto Lateralis, and that means Lateralis got to walk away, but it also meant that Krielkipje was in a bit of trouble there, because he was just called out. But he managed to stay alive then for so long, the rest of his team could come back in and retaliate, and that was why the fight dragged on for so long, and that's why so many deaths ended up happening on the side of BS Primus anyway.
Yeah, kept happening. I think they should have just taken their gold and gone home right after that that Pyke.
Yeah, I'm not sure even if they had the time, because Krielkipje played that well and he managed to stay alive for so long that there was a lot of time to come for PS Primus. Oh, nothing.
Ooh, almost. Looks like Lateralis is really looking for these stuns onto the enemy team, but it's starting to cost him a bit of his life. Pyke coming in looking for. He might be able to catch out Lateralis again. Ooh, doesn't charge up the Q long enough, and now he's taken by the Elise. He's stunned and killed. And now this is the double Nara ultimate on the bot lane. He's dealing quite a bit of damage on the Nami. The Misfortune ult comes in for the disengage, and Lateralis almost hits that Q, which would have been enough to take out the Zoe, to take out the Nami, I mean. And now there is Set and Echo right behind him. However, Blue Shield Primus is ready to respond. They're able to deal a lot of damage on the Echo, forcing him to ult away. And Set is coming, gets the double, gets the stun onto 2. However, he's taken down. Nami very low, taken down by Lateralis. However, he's taken down by Mordax in retaliation. Nar trying to jump away. It's not enough. Echo dashes in and jumps on him. Varus manages to snipe out the Misfortune from out of nowhere. Now they're trying to chase back onto the Echo. However, he is full health and has all his cooldowns up, so they're just choosing to walk away.
These fights are scrappy and they are not going anyone's way. Wow.
What was that? That was a 4 for 2 on the side of
something like that.
Echo jumps in again, jumps into the Alistar. Big Shelly dealing a lot of damage onto the tower. Tower is done. Varus jumps in after the Echo. It's almost manages to get the damage. Pyke dealing a lot of damage, ults onto the Varus and manages to take him down. Set and Pyke against the Alistar, there's not much he can do. Pyke just press R and gets all the gold for himself.
Yeah, Krillkipje here on the bike is really hot and cold. We saw the 2 plays ago he missed his ultimate, just now he also got called out, but then he just comes back and then gets double dunks and comes right back in swinging, you know, so... Oh, there he goes again. It's, he lands the
manages
hook.
to get the hook out, that allows forced to flash away. Doesn't want to take too much damage. Looks like Nami and Pyke on the mid lane. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get away. Ult's over the wall, however, it's not enough. It's not a dash, it's only a temporary displacement, and he's right back into the danger and pays with his life. Set looking for something here. He uses his stride breaker to slow down the Gnar. Gnar gets the Mega Gnar just in time, ults him into the wall. Big damage. I don't know sure if he has anything else. Throws the Q. Set uses his ultimate. Now they're very equal in health. Manages to get the stun and the Q. Death to him, and now Nami is caught out, paying with a lot of her health. However, Echo time and deletes Elise. Wow.
Fights, scrappy, whatever, all over the map. I don't even know.
Scrappy along all over the place, man.
Yeah. What I do see is that Varus is coming out ahead on the side of DS Primus a lot. He gets a lot of damage down left and right in teamfights, and he doesn't often get caught out, so that's really good for DS Primus. But on the other side, you have Elise, you have Lateralis and Zoe, who are really struggling to make an impact in this game. Lateralis going down to Krillkipje one more time now on 3 and 9. Not really what you want to see from a Zoe on your team, honestly. So we need to see if they can make this somehow livable, I guess, for Lateralis, because he just does not have a safe place. Because even actually, we saw that interaction before, and the Press Persona Q was getting chased.
Gnar quite low, manages to get Mega Gnar right at the end and ult Echo away. However, Echo is looking for a little dive, manages to get the shield onto the tower, but it's Gnar is already far enough away to run.
Uh-oh, that's
for a little damage onto the Pyke, misses the stun, gets stunned by the Pyke, and then uses the ultimate onto her. Wow, he just can't seem to hit these stuns onto who he wants it. Echo uses the ult to escape the Alistar and gets back to safety.
Yeah, honestly, I think Lateralis
coming
really
into
needs to
the mid lane,
learn
Varus in a very bad spot, gets exhausted, pulled and ulted by the Pyke.
Every time you see Blue Shell just in the mid lane on their own, walking out of tower range and just getting punished.
Now the Alistar's in a very bad spot. He's forced to flash out of the wall.
Oh, no.
Set has to use his ultimate, but Alistar uses his ultimate to get out of there. It's a 4-man dive. Pyke uses the ultimate, manages to pick up the Alistar from under the tower and gets yet another reset. Wow.
That's a lot of gold difference in the mid lane. That's 7,000 to 13,000 there in the mid lane. That's just painful.
Pyke is almost ready to go full build at this point.
Yeah, he's heading to his third item very quick. In fact, he has the QSS now as well. That means that even if Lateralis were to land the bubble when he gets engaged upon, he is still going to go down. There's no way he can deal with Krillkipje anymore. And it's about to say that what you see time and time again in the mid lane is that Lateralis, and just now Xenoset as well, on their own.
Gnar finds the set, Mega Gnar ults him into the wall. However, it is not great. Wow, that's some big damage coming in from the Varus. Lateralis looking in. The ult by Varus is missed. However, it's still picked up by Lateralis with the Zoe Q. And now they're chasing after Echo. However, be very careful. You're very low, Lateralis. All it takes is one E from the Echo, that dash and that jump. Echo forced to use his QSS to run away from the Elise. However, Nami is by herself with Pyke there. It's a 3v2, and they're looking for the disengage.
Yeah, anyway, what I was trying to say before they continue to fight. Oh, never mind, here we go again.
Pyke looking for a small pick. He's just by himself. However, the rest of DSEA is coming in. Hextech flashes over the wall, and maybe we can see some sort of disengage now.
Yeah, but anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is that both, like, Lateralis and Xenoset, they're continuously overextending in the mid lane. They don't see the Pyke, they assume it's safe, and they just leave tower range, and they immediately get punished. And if it happens once or twice, okay, but Lateralis died 11 times this game, so he just does not seem to really pay the respect that he needs to against Pyke. Also has not started building towards the Zoya's Hourglass yet, so really does not think it's going to be much of a trouble as Morlock's has to flash away here, decides to
press the ultimate maybe to get them away, but Visopia manages to dodge it. He manages to get the stun onto her, but there is no real follow-up from Varus. Now Pyke and Nami are here to back it up. And here's a teleport from Nara as well, trying to follow it up. Visopia going to be caught in a very bad spot. Here comes the ultimate from Varus, trying to slow him down, deal some damage. This is
massive.
Great. Mega comes in with the 3-man ultimate, forces the cleanse from the most fortunate. It's not going to be enough. She's kicked down by Varus. Everybody's real low. Nars coming in for some more damage. Set doing the BM recall from behind the alcove, and now they're just gonna be picked apart by the Varus. Varus
Where's
triple kill
Pike?
onto the Varus. What a beautiful, beautiful retaliation by Blue Shell Primus. Pike is sitting in the bush looking for some pickup. No, that is Echo.
no.
Never mind. Echo and Pike manages to get the stun onto the Echo,
Oh, no.
but Echo ults away.
Oh,
Pike
no.
because Varus gets the shutdown onto the Pike. Now it's gonna be Varus against Echo. Echo really low, just one more.
He gets him.
He manages to get the kill with the cursed arrows, and that's gonna be an ace onto the side of Blue Shell Primus. Unofficial penta for Varus.
I think so, yeah. It was a very hectic game there, a hectic fight, and it extended again like we've been used to for like several minutes. And even though it looked like BS Primus was very, very strong after the first couple of kills, the Echo and the Pike were alive, and those are exactly the two that are hardest to kill and that are dealing the most damage. You see, Lateralis gets caught out and picked off just in like two buttons. Just in two buttons. Like there's nothing you can do. And Pike there just hopping around with the ultimate. A lot of champions were low. I'm really surprised that Xenos had managed to not die there. Actually, very well played by him. And these fights just keep going all the way from left to right. Now the gold difference has increased to about 6,000, 8,000 gold. My apologies, 8,000 gold. So that is DSEA somehow managing to creep ahead. I think that's all off the back of Gdaik and Krukivje on that Echo and on that Pike. Because look at the kills, 14 and 2, 15 and 5. They are popping off. Mr. Mark,
They're huge now. However, Set is stuck in a bad place. Nobody else is around to him. Gnar coming in. He uses the ultimate to get the Gnar over. Maybe he's trying to get a little bit of kill. However, Mega Gnar pops, and they're able to take down. Caught out again. He flashes over. They're still chasing too much mobility. Lateralis does not manage to get out, and looks like they're setting up for a dragon fight. However, it's 4v4. We'll have to see who has the stronger. Mega Gnar just returned to Mini Gnar. This is not looking too great for Blue Shell Primus. However, Fistopia is there with the Alistar, has his ultimate pop, taking very little damage.
Yeah, the reason that the BS Primus can do this is because Krukivje wasted his ult and he doesn't have it available right now. So that means that as long as they don't get caught by such hooks, they should be fine, but now it's all going to shit.
It's all down to they managed to get the dragon and they managed to catch out the Misfortune. Pike is low, he's on the bot lane. However, the three Blue Shell Primus members are still quite healthy. Now he gets a triple bubble. Echo comes in for the he gets the double kill. And Skrillex is running for his life.
That bubble was insane!
With the speed boost, is it gonna be if there's nothing that can stop him. Echo is just too fed, too much damage, and they are deleted. What a beautiful bubble from Nami right there.
Yeah, that was a massive bubble hitting 3 people, and just Echo gets delete and wash over them in one fell swoop. Nothing that they could do as Lateralis tries.
Power manages to get stun, but not the Q, and that is gonna be another kill on the side of.
Yeah, Lateralis is
for the Baron.
Lateralis is not looking very hot. Has not looked very hot all game long, but he just continues to get called out. To be fair, right now, honestly, his Nexus or his fountain is not even safe anymore. But he's just too far behind. They need to find a way of having Lateralis sit about 7 screens away and like land some bubble and then come in or something.
Lands a bubble through the terrain, get something good, because he's managed to do that. But every time he lands a bubble, he's already. The bubbles just come in too late. Looks like DSEA Orange is looking for some scuffle in the jungle, but they're only managed to find a blue buff and walk away. But they're still too strong. That Echo is very threatening. It looks like he wants to build the Magi's, and he is 16 and 2. Huge amounts of gold on this guy, and this is something I was personally afraid of. The Echo getting fed and just being able to delete anybody.
Yeah, and at this point, I am not sure how BS Primus is going to win any fights. Like, something like we already saw, to be fair, we saw Krukivje already messing up in a couple of fights, right? They missed some ultimates, he got called out a couple of times, and I think that's really what it's going to take for BS Primus to come back in this game. It's not unheard of, but it's very unlikely, I think, at this rate.
Because I know they're consistently able to take out the Misfortune and the Set. Looks like right here they're going to be able to catch out the Pike. However, he's going to W away and
speed boost.
Exactly, and with the speed buff of Cloud Drake, just get away. But indeed, they're able to consistently take out the Set and the Misfortune, so that's good. But they need to be able to take out either the Pike or the Echo. Fistopia manages to headbutt the Nami, however, takes big damage from the Echo. Mega Gnar coming in. Does he have the ultimate? He has the ultimate. stun the Echo. Echo uses his ultimate instead of the diversion, stunning the Alistar. However, he pays with life for that. So that was really not great on the side of Lucio Primus. Alistar is looking for some good engages. He managed to find them, however, he just doesn't have the team to back it up just yet. And now this might be the final push on the side of. Almost gets caught out by the bubble from the. And Echo almost getting caught out. And looks like this is going to be. DSEA is looking for a final push with the Baron buffed minions here.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Alistar was just looking for some vision, but he was too much alone and he got caught out because of it. And there was not much help available. And right now, that results in a very strong base.
Gets the ball onto the Misfortune, however, she's got the rest of the team to protect her.
Yeah, and nothing really was going to happen there. The base with the Baron now also picked up is very, very easy to take down. Here comes Nor.
Oh, wow! The 4-man ultimate! The ultimate stun! Misfortune pops the cleanse, but it's not enough. She goes down. Set in the mid lane, manages to get a double kill out here. Varus coming in, doing big damage, picks off the set. Alistar picks set. Echo and Pyke still alive. Those are the big worries. It's a 3v3. However, you get 2 tanks and the Varus. So we're looking for something potentially. They have to keep the Pyke or the Echo off of the Varus. He's their big damage dealer, dealing some damage onto the Pyke. Echo coming in. He's still stunned. He doesn't have the mobility to get onto the Varus. Varus pops the ultimate and right into the Alistar. Yeah. Wow, that is deletes them, and that is a clean ace onto the side of DSEA Orange. Oranje Goesting, and they're looking for the final push. Still have the Baron buff? No, they do not, but now they can get at least the bottom tower and some damage onto the lane. Wow.
Yeah, and so I want to remind you that this fight was about as good as BS Primus can get it. They had a 4-man Gnar ultimate into the wall, into very big
and the stun.
And a follow-up stun into very big follow-up. The Mordok almost immediately fell, and even then, they just go down all 5 with like 3 people alive from the other side. So it's really, really hard to get anything done there.
Jumping on right next to the Phantom Laterals, getting the stun onto the Pyke, but it is not enough even at that low health. Lucio Primus is just falling apart. Their base is under siege. We need some sort of miracle to happen.
Yeah. Honestly, I think this game was just a very clean snowball, starting at level 2 when the Lateralis overstepped and had to blow his flash, and just very well played by DSEA Orange to just get that Pyke and that Echo.
Set stuck out. Ults the Alistar, still very low health, manages to get to safety. However, now they're chasing onto the low of this Oranje Goesting. Nami gonna be taken down. She uses her ultimate, manages to get a bit back. Echo forces to use his ult. Varus gets the kill onto the Echo. Now they're chasing back onto the Pyke. The Pyke gets the kill onto the Alistar. Wow, beautiful.
No!
But all Varus has to do is press Q, and that is a dead Pyke lying in front of him.
Yeah, okay. I always thought that Pyke was gonna get all the I see a very clean snowball from champ. Yeah, fair enough. It wasn't all the clean, but you know what? Like, they didn't really make that many big mistakes. There were some moments where Krillkeep got called out, some moments where Mordax got called out in the early game, and now also XC as well. But very well played in general. Now we saw Mr. Game Mark overextended a little bit, but you know what? They took 3 inhibs as well as a Nexus Tower there. So, yeah,
so not bad at all. Not a bad trade at all.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that for now, BS Primus is going to sit in their base, trying to clear as many minions as possible, rack up the farm, rack up the gold. And something that stands out to me is that Lateralis is still not going for the Zhonya's, not even going for the stopwatch, not even going for the armor, for Arm Guard, Seeker's Arm Guard. So he really is disrespecting and overextending, and that really has cost him so far.
I think that's something that DSEA Oranje Goesting has managed to capitalize on the entire game. They realized that Lateralis just continually overextends, and they can just take advantage of that. They can just, Pyke can just say, okay, I'm here. Ooh, and looks like there's gonna be some big damage.
Wow!
Would you look at that, Varus? What was that?
Damage galore on both sides. So, I mean, that's the way that BS Primus can actually still win this, right? Because Varus does a lot of damage. They just need to find some safety.
A lot of damage.
They just need to find some safety for Varus to actually get that off. Because the problem is that Pyke and Echo on his head does not mean he gets to do damage.
Yeah, exactly. However, I think they've been very good at that, very good at keeping the Pyke and Echo off of him. They just need him to be there. They just need him to be there for when those engages happen, for him to just shred through whatever Oranje Goesting can put up against Lucio Primus. And it looks like Pyke is looking for a pick onto the Gnar. Varus tells him to, go away. I got big damage here. Go
Get
home,
out of
little buddy.
here.
Get out of here. This is my base right here. Xeno's that holding it together. They managed to get the Baron, and looks like this is going to be the make or break it mover for Blue Shield Primus.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the first of many if they make it work.
Indeed. They got a long way to come back, but Varus just showed that it is possible.
Definitely. And I mean, the fight in the top lane where Varus ultimately ended up being alive on his own, killing all of DSEA Orange, showed that it's definitely possible to get the fights that they need. They just need to be very careful where they step, because as soon as somebody like Lateralis or Disruptionity or Swirlix oversteps their boundaries, but even a little bit, there's going to be a Prowler Skull to your head, and Pyke is going to one-shot you. So that's really the setup that we need to look for. Can Pyke get that pick off, or is it really going to be safe play from the side of BS Primus, and are they going to be able to stall the game that way?
Indeed. They have to keep going. It looks like there's going to be a dive from the Echo here onto the Alistar. Forced to use his ultimate onto the Misfortune. Cancels the ultimate. Beautiful play. Echo presses R, and Nard just ult doesn't manage to get anybody. As lateral falls down. Too many minions.
Oh no!
Go! Varus falls into the Fountain Tower. Set falls down, and there's just Nard left over. Only Elise left. They start diving the Fountain Tower. There's not enough.
And there goes the Nexus.
Primus falls apart, and there goes the Nexus.
Yeah, did you see what happened there, by the way?
Yeah, the Alistar onto the set.
This is Varus flashing away from the facebreaker, haymaker, whatchamacallit. And then Alistar actually headbutts a set such that the center point hits anyway, and Varus falls.
And Varus falls. What was that? 1,000 damage. It was so unlucky, but a beautiful game nonetheless. Amazing.
Yeah. That was very entertaining game to see. A lot of fights going back and forth, but ultimately, Blue Shell Primus falls 2-0 or 0-2, should I say, to DSEA Orange. DSEA taking both wins. But honestly, I think BS Primus showed a very strong fight. I think these games were some minor slip-ups that DSEA Orange managed to take advantage of. But if BS Primus fixes those minor slip-ups and actually gets the game even for longer, they showed they know how to fight. They showed they know how to win these fights and get these pressure points over the map. So, I think they showed some really good play here today. I think it looked less close than it was because of those early games, slight mistakes there. But ultimately, I think we got to see a very entertaining series because of that as well.
Indeed, this was very action-packed, consistent, especially that second game where the fights just would not stop. Even with disengages, even with everything, Pyke and Echo were always around the corner looking to capitalize on mispositionings and just their sheer amount of damage. We even saw a Medjay's coming out of Echo in the end. But the Varus was able to hold the ground, and I think we saw some amazing plays by both teams here. But in the end, it was DSEA Orange Goesting that was able to capitalize on the little misslips and inefficiencies that Blue Shell Primus had and bring home the W today.
Yeah, definitely. And let's actually see if I can update all the standings on the website real quick. Let me see the standings. Bring them on there properly. So we see that Oranje Goesting now beating BS Primus 2-0, as well as Hydra falling 0-2 to Erasmus. Now shooting DSEA Orange to the top of to the second place in the standings, and pushing Hydra down to the third place. BS Primus now in sole possession of fourth place. And because of the matches of next week, DSEA Orange will be facing off against TSEA Link, and Zephyr Hydra will be facing off against Zephyr Hydra is done. PS Primus will be facing off against Erasmus Taxi Drivers. I think we actually lock in the top two right now. Erasmus Taxi Drivers cannot be overtaken anymore by DSEA Orange because of the head-to-head. So even if they lose to BS Primus and DSEA Orange wins, they will still remain in first place. If DSEA Orange loses next week and BS Primus wins next week, the head-to-head of this week will determine that DSEA Orange will be ahead of both Zephyr Hydra and BS Primus. So all that is all locked in. meaning that the first two are already known. There will be Erasmus Taxi Drivers and DSEA Orange. Zephyr, Hydra, and BS Primus can still flip, I believe, depending on the result. Can they? Hang on. No, they cannot flip. They are also locked in already. It means the entire group is already locked in, and next week does not seem to have many implications in the standings due to the head-to-head, of course.
Wow. Well, the spoiler alert, here are the results, everyone.
Yeah, and let's have a look at the first group, because of course we were playing in Group B. Let's go to Group 2. Let's go to Group 1. Here we see that today DSEA Redmi has beaten DSEA Green 2-0, somewhat of the expected result, and the other Ground 4 match was between Zephyr Primera and Dongan City Gaming, which was won by Zephyr Primera in the 2-0 fashion. So I believe we can say something similar here. Because Zephyr Primera beat Dongan City Gaming today. They actually, okay, DSEA Red is locked in first place. They only need to play against DSEA Purple and Purple. But Zephyr Primera, if I have a quick look, they need to play against DSEA Green. And if they lose, and Dongan City Gaming... Oh, no, Dongan City Gaming is already done. So then they cannot be overtaken. Other option is DSEA Purple. DSEA Purple beats DSEA Red. And Zephyr Primera loses. Then they are going to be, based on their head-to-head, then Zephyr Primera is still going to go into second place. So there's no way that Zephyr Primera or DSEA Red can drop down from top 2 anymore. So here as well, those standings are final, even though we have 4 more matches to go next week. I think that for now, that leaves it up to us to round off the day. Bear, thank you so much for being here with me today. I had a blast. I hope you had a blast too.
It's been a pleasure, Peppy. I always love to cast with you, man.
Great to hear. Well, maybe, you know what, maybe we'll see you back. We, of course, have the quarterfinals, not quarterfinals, my apologies, the semifinals and the finals left to go, and we're looking for a lot of people to help us cover that all the way. So, you know what, maybe you can help us out there as well, even though BS Prime is now being knocked out definitively. Yeah, thank you so much for casting here with me, and of course, viewers at home and players, thank you so much for viewing and playing. We hope to see you back next week, where we will conclude the group stage of our tournament with a final game, although it doesn't influence the standing as we just determined. A final game that is still to be played. So have a good evening for the rest, and we hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining. Have a good night.